But the Headies is a Nigerian award show. It used to be called the Hip Hop World Show, I think, before. And it's the most prestigious music award show in Nigeria. It's like our own Grammys. The list came out like maybe 2 weeks ago. I had wanted to do a video. I felt the video would be too long, but I'm going to talk about the nominees here. Now, there is never a perfect award show. There's never a case whereby you have the right nominees picked, or you get it perfect, or any award show can get it perfect. Whoever you feel deserves an award, I think the best way to give an artist an award is to go out and support their music. If it means buying the CDs, buying it on iTunes, buying it on vinyls. I think vinyls are an aspect of Nigerian or format of Nigerian music that is being overlooked. I had asked Adekunle Gold the other day if vinyls will be available of the Gold album. I think that's an album this year I'd like to have on vinyl. Lindsay Abude's And the Bassist Queen is another album I would like to have on vinyl. And future albums that I'm expecting next year, I'd like to have them on vinyl, especially Nigerian albums. But speaking of Lindsay Abude, she wasn't nominated by the Headies, which I think says a few things. I think she's had the best album, not just in Nigeria, but the best album this year, in my personal opinion. I had said that way back in June, and so far it holds true. It says a lot about how Nigerian music we treat alternative or different or genres outside of Afrobeats and Afropop. It feels like we're not rewarding those genres, we're not developing those genres, and a lot of times, a lot of our music in different genres or supposedly different genres, like for example hip-hop, just ends up becoming Afrobeats or Afropop. And I think parts of the blame does go to award shows when they neglect genres outside of Afrobeat. But nevertheless, let's discuss the nominees we have for Best Recording of the Year. This is a non-voting category. For the Best Single Recording by an Artist or Group in the Year Under Review, we have Emergency by D'banj. We have Pray For Me by Dare featuring the Soweto Choir. We have Love Don't Care by Simi. We have Oriente by Adekunle Gold. And we have Something Good Is Happening by Brymo. There are very credible candidates in this category, and I find it hard picking. Well, I don't find it hard. I would pick Love Don't Care by Simi. I think Simi is an extremely talented artist. I've said this so many places. I think Simi is amazingly talented. She's an amazing songwriter, singer, audio engineer. She's been involved in pretty much every album or most of the big albums or projects this year. She's been on Files. She's had a joint project with Files, as I said, which I didn't like. But hey, I can't knock the hustle. She's been on Adekunle Gold's album. She mixed and mastered that. She's been on Love Don't Care is a good song, and I think it should win Best Recording of the Year. Next category, we have Producer of the Year, an individual responsible for producing the most acclaimed song or album in the year under review. We have DJ Kublon, Good Time, and Rabba. We have Feels, Pick Up and Lagos Boys by Olamide. We have Legendary Beats Final or Babanla by Wizkid. We have Young John Mama by Kiss Daniel. We have Mastercraft, Fada Fada or Connect. Connect was not produced by Mastercraft. I forget the producer who produced that, but I'll try and leave a link in the description to the Pulse article where they corrected that. Shout out to Pulse. And you have Oscar Herman Aka for Pray For Me by Dare. A few producers I would have thrown on there would be Atta. Atta produced Lindsay Abude's album. And he's also he produces his own music. I think he's a great pianist. He's a great musical composer. You also have Gray Jones and Tintins, who did a phenomenal job on Eva's debut album, which dropped recently. I know her album was outside of the allocated time. I think the time frame was between June of last year and July of this year. But I think it was July of last year and June of this year, even though you had a few projects and songs on here that were outside of that time frame being nominated. But nevertheless, I think for Producer of the Year, I would say Feels. Feels also did phenomenal job with Adekunle Gold's album. And I think Feels is deserving of that. So now we have Best Music Video, a voting category for the Best Conceptualist, Best Directed, and Most Exciting Video in the year under review. You have Emergency by The Bunch, which was directed, I think, by Unlimited LA. You have Mary by Shay Shay, Meji Alabi. And then you have Soldier by Falz the Bad Guy, Clarence Peters. You have Made for You by Banky W, which was directed by Banky W. And you have Bad by Tiwa Savage featuring Wizkid. I don't really watch music videos that much anymore, but I would say that 2 out of this category I think are not deserving of being in a category that says best conceptualist and best directed. And that would be Bad by Tiwa Savage and Wizkid and Mary by Shay Shay. I don't even know why Shay Shay got a lot of the nominations that she did this year, because her album was bad and this video was trash. So Bad and Mary are eliminated from my thinking. Emergency by The Bunch, I love the concept of that. It had this very fella, very 60s, 70s vibe to it. It felt very unique. It felt very fresh. And it wasn't, big booty, clubby. It was still a dance environment, but I love the fella element. I love the feel and the aesthetic of the video. So that's a good video. Soldier by Falz the Bad Guy. I'm not a huge fan of Falz. I'm not a huge fan of his rap. But this music video, I think it was the one with Simi. I think it's a good video. I like the concept of it. Made for You by Banky W is another choreographed video. It's very beautiful, shot very well. I think I'll go with Emergency by The Bunch. I'm a fella stan and I like the concept of this video and I did enjoy it more than the others. If I have to say second place, I'd say Made for You by Banky W, and then thirdly, I would have Soldier. Then you have Best R&B/Pop Album, and you have New Era by Kiss Daniel, and this is a category for the best pop or R&B album in the year under review. It doesn't say if it's voting or not. Wanted by One Day Cole, Clitoris by Brymo, Naked by Dare, and Shay or Shay by Shay Shay. Again, Shay Shay I don't think deserves a nomination in this category. Again, the 4 that would and Wanted was a mixed bag, so I would also remove that from my list. Clitoris to me doesn't fall under R&B pop, because Clitoris falls if you had said R&B, soul, or alternative, or it doesn't fit into. But for the sake of it being there, out of these, I would say it is my preferred pick. And I do like Clitoris the most, so I would pick that. But I'm gonna say New Era by Kiss Daniel is going to win this. I don't think Brymo. I'm even surprised. This is his 5th album, and this is one of the times when he's picking up a lot of nominations. It has been said that Brymo had been sidelined from the industry. But favorite, Clitoris by Brymo. One I think will win would be New Era by Kiss Daniel. R&B single, a category for the best R&B single in the year under review. You have Love Don't Care by Simi, Made for You by Banky W, Superwoman by One Day Cole, Pray for Me by Dare. You also have Aduke Tijan and Smile by Shady. Another good category. To save time, I'm going to say I would go for best R&B single. I'd still go for Love Don't Care by Simi. Pray for Me is an amazing song by Dare, and Superwoman is a good song, and Made for You as well is a good song, but I would still go with Love Don't Care by Simi. Best pop single, a category for the best pop single in the year under review. When you say pop, I think you're meaning popular. We're not gonna nitpick too much and say, in terms of quality of the music. You have Mama by Kiss Daniel, Final by Babanla, Pick Up Adekunle Gold, Osinachi, Humble Smith featuring Davido, Reggae Blues by Harry Song, and a bunch of artists. Emergency by The Bunch, Fada Fada by Fino and Olamide, and Money by Timaya featuring Flavor. I would go with Mama. Yeah, I'd go with Mama by Kiss Daniel. I think I'd say it's the best Nigerian pop single in this category, and that's why I picked that. Best reggae or dancehall single. I'm not the most knowledgeable person on Nigerian reggae and dancehall, so I won't speak too much on that. Best rap album, a non-voting category for the best album by a rap artist or group in the year under review. I made sure to listen to all of these albums. I would go with, I think Stories That Touch by Falz is going to win. I don't know. A lot of these artists, man, they don't really create rap music that would really compel me, besides maybe Ill Bliss. Ill Bliss' powerful album had its moments where I really enjoyed it. I don't think it really competes with rap everywhere else. Personally, I think Stories That Touch by Files is going to win, but I would give it to Powerful by Ill Bliss. Best Collabo. A voting category for the best R&B, pop, or hip-hop collaborative track. And I'm surprised that Fada Fada is not included in this, because that was a huge song. But you have Soulja, Files featuring Simi, Reggae Blues, Harry Song, and a bunch of artists. Osinachi, Humble Smith featuring Davido, Wait, Solid Star featuring Tiwa Savage, No Kissing, Patoranking featuring Sarkodie, Money Timaya featuring Flavor. I wish that No Forget by Adekunle Gold and Simi was on this, because that would have easily won, in my opinion. I think Soulja is going to win this. I think that was a song that a lot of people resonated with, was very popular, and was what sparked, the whole chemistry project and, their whole chemistry together. So I think that would be the track that I'd pick for best collabo. Best rap single, Eya Mayweather by Olamide, Assalamu Alaikum Reminisce, Jagaban by YC, Chuku Agozi Gogi by Ill Bliss. Shout out to all my Igbo mandem out there. And you have Agu Ji Ndi Me by AQ. And then you have Show You Something. Hi. I don't know, man. Show You Something by Boogie, I think had a lot of good storytelling. I don't like his delivery, but I'd say it had a good story to it. And I would also say Assalamu Alaikum by Reminisce was also a dope track. So I think here I'll say Show You Something by Boogie. Inside of You also, I forgot, Inside of You is a track by Dare and Asha. I feel like that also should have gotten recognition in terms of best collabo. Best vocal performance, male. Non-voting category for a single male artist with the most outstanding vocal performance. Brimo, Something Good Is Happening, Dare featuring Soweto Choir, Pray For Me, Shady, Smile, One Day Called Superwoman, and Rick Hassani, Gentleman. In terms of vocal delivery, raw vocal delivery, vocal performance, I would give this to Brimo. Female category, and this is also non-voting, you have Love Don't Care by Simi, Shay, fuck off, Aramide, Love Me. Shout out to Aramide. She released her new album, Suitcase, which I also did a review on my channel. I think it's a good album. Yeah, See Me Again. I didn't like this particular Aramide song. I think she's a talented artist, a vocalist, but I didn't like that particular song, and it didn't highlight her vocal performance, in my opinion. Next rated, this is a category that received some, controversy, especially regarding one of the nominees here, and I'll talk about that in a bit. But this category is a voting category for the most promising upcoming act in the year under review. You have YC, Techno, Mr. Easy, Humble Smith, and Aramide. For next rated, and because I have listened to projects, I'm going to give Aramide. None of these other artists, I don't think, have released albums as of yet. Correct me if I'm wrong. The other person I would have picked would have been Mr. Easy. I'm not a huge fan of techno. I think he's not an artist that is passionate about the music, and that's why I don't really like him. And he had come out to be angered that he was nominated for next rated. I don't think you can be angry at an award show for having a guideline for why you are, in this category or that category. He fell within the recommended guidelines, so I don't understand why he was so aggravated by being in that next rated category. So for that, I would vote Aramide, because there's a lot more music for me to base her talent on than someone like, say, Mr. Easy. I have love for Mr. Easy. I think he's a phenomenally talented artist. In terms of who I would vote for, and I'm going to vote for Aramide. In terms of who I think is going to win, I think Techno is going to win this. Hip Hop World Revelation, a voting category for the best new artist in the year under review. Kiss Daniel, New Era, Shay, Lil Kesh, Yagi, Runtown, Ghetto University. This is a weird category because you're saying hip hop, and these artists, I think Runtown, you could say is hip hop, and Lil Kesh. But okay, I'll give it to Kiss Daniel again. Lyricist on the Road, non-voting category for the rap artist with best lyrical depth and performance on a single song. You have Ill Bliss, Chuku Agozi Gogi, Reminisce, Assalamu Alaikum, YC, Jagaban, Boogie, Show You Something, AQ, Agu G Ndi Me, and Mode 9, No Matter What. Again, I'll go with Boogie here. Best street hip hop artist. This shouldn't even be a category. should be Olamide. Like, it shouldn't even, there's no need for me. Like, no offense to the people that are nominated, but when you say streets, like, Olamide has its streets in my opinion. Even the Who You Ep, like, it has become something that is a part of pop culture just off of one track. So Olamide, I think, would take that easy. Best Alternative Song. A voting category for the artists whose songs reflect any form or style of music which falls outside of the mainstream of recent or past popular music trends. And this is why I was talking about alternative music, the way that it's lumped together. It doesn't really help us develop different branches. And I think we do need to develop these different genres of music so that we can be a competitive music industry. You have Pick Up by Adekunle Gold, which a lot of people have come out to say is not an alternative song. Something Good Is Happening, which they keep nominating. I would have loved if they had put something like Koshayami by Brimo. I think that was a great song. You Suppose No, Bez, Wait For Me, Johnny Drill, and Gentleman by Rick Hassani. I'm going to give it to Brimo again. Second would have been Bez. I think Brimo or Adekunle Gold is going to win this category. Album of the Year. A voting category for the best album, solo, or group in a year under review that meets judges' requirements of excellence, songwriting, production, rendition, and promotion, and acceptability, sales, and popularity. Stories That Touch, Fouls, New Era, Kiss Daniel, Wanted, One Day Koshe, or Shay. New Era by Kiss Daniel, album of the year out of these albums that were picked. No Brimo. Like, what the fuck? How do you not have... I just realized this. They had album of the year. They nominated Brimo for so many songs, and they didn't nominate him for album of the year. Like, my album of the year from that time frame would have been Brimo's Clitoris, but it's not nominated here, so I'll go with New Era by Kiss Daniel. Artist of the Year. Most politically and commercially adjudged artist in the year under review. I think this is going to unfairly lean towards Wizkid because, you know, One Dance has become a crazy hit. He's had international features. If you're going off of commercial, I think Wizkid blows everybody else out of the water. But I think Yemi Alade has been a very hardworking throughout her career. But this year, she's just been all over the place promoting music and culture and sort of being a driving force for African, you know, homogeneity. I think I would give it to Yemi Alade, but I think it's going to go to Wizkid. Song of the Year. Voting category for the most popular song in the year under review. Fada Fada, Fino featuring Olamide, Reggae Blues by Harry Songs, Pick Up by Adekunle Gold, Final Babanla by Wizkid, Osinachi, Humble Smith. I will go with Fada Fada by Fino featuring Olamide.